Hello and welcome to a new Armorpaint tutorial video. In this video I will show you how to paint the angel statue model from my last video. I hope that you like it. So now let's start. We start off here in Blender. First off, delete everything from the scene. Now we have to import our model. Of course you can download the model from the link in the description. This model has no materials and it need to be unwrapped. Hit the U key to unwrap the model. Here we can set a value for the island margin. If you want, you can add little space between the UV parts by setting a number here. Here in the UV editor we can see our UV map. We could unwrap the model by hand, but this would take way too long. We are done here in Blender. Now we export the model to our workspace as a OBJ file. Now for the textures, I went to CG Textures. Here you can download all kind of textures. You have to create a free account to download textures with your free credits. The link is in the description. If you are ready, then we have to search for substance bronze. For my object I used these two materials. Here you can download the textures of the material. You have to download every textures except the height texture. For me it doesn't work. This is the second one. Here you have to download every texture as well. As you can see, I saved the materials in a folder. If you download textures from this site, you need to convert it to PNG. The reason is that the textures are downloaded as a TFF file and Armorpaint does not support that. You can easily convert it on these websites for free. An easier way is to use Windows Paint. Drag and drop your textures here and save it as a PNG file. If every texture is a PNG file, then you are ready to use it in Armorpaint. Now we are here in Armorpaint. Here on the bottom we can toggle the Workspace window. Here we can set our workspace. Copy the location of your workspace and paste it into the input. With the button you can save the workspace. Drag and drop the OBJ file into Armorpaint. Go to Render and set the model into Workspace. Now we are ready to paint. To start off, import the main material into Armorpaint. I create a new layer to fill the entire model with the material. Here in the Material Node Editor, I want to scale the textures up. If you don't know nothing about the Node Editor, then I recommend you to watch my older Armorpaint videos. Set the scale values to something like 3 to scale the textures up. Here on the object there are many ripped parts. To make it clean, use the simple brush tool with a low opacity and set it to project mode instead of UV map mode. Now you have to simply paint on these parts. It looks a lot better now. Make sure that you set it back on the default values for later. Now we have to import our other bronze material for the next step. We create a new layer on top and fill it with the new imported texture. And here I want to scale the textures up as well. Here on this layer we add a black mask for the curvature map. Make sure that the mask is selected before the baking. Head to the Baking tab and select Curvature. Here you can choose your own values that you want. Now back to paint, we fill the layer with the bronze material again. Make sure that you don't paint the mask. You have to select the layer to paint it. To make it look better, we can bake our map and multiply it with the base layer. Set the new layer under the base layer. Make the other layer invisible and then head to the Bake tab again. For me it looks good, but you can still change the values if you want. Now we can make the layers visible. On the base layer, set the mixing to multiply it with the layer below. Now we are done. You can enable voxelio in the settings for a better result. Now we are ready to export our textures. Go to File and then Export. Here we can edit the exported textures. We can either delete or rename them. For me, here is everything okay. Hit export and save it somewhere. I used the textures in Blender, but of course it could be used anywhere, like in Unreal Engine or Unity. I already made a tutorial where I used the textures in Blender. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that I helped you. Have a good day and see you next time.